Could we soon see artificial intelligence on the witness stand? Maybe not, but tech firm Workday is now facing a collective action lawsuit alleging that its job applicant screening technology is discriminatory. The plaintiffs, all over the age of 40, claim that they submitted hundreds of job applications through Workday and they were rejected every time. They blame Workday's algorithm, which they claim disqualifies individuals over the age of 40.
Now we're joined now by Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Froze. Khalif, we're talking about the ever-changing landscape with AI, right? You can't blame AI, but the people who prompt AI, people behind it, they are liable and they have to follow these anti-discrimination laws.
And the people that profited from it, let's be clear. So Workday, and to Workday's defense, they're saying, look, we didn't hire anybody, we didn't give anybody these jobs, and we don't even make the hiring decisions, but you have played a part in making the decision how they get hired, and that's the part that these plaintiffs are saying. That's why Workday is still included in this claim, because they were asking the court to dismiss them. They're saying, look, even if these folks were discriminated against, we aren't the cause of the discrimination, that it is the companies that individually rejected them. But the plaintiffs say, hey, well, let's wait a second. Your proprietary system that you're using to make these determinations of who you've sent forward to the companies is already excluding us without them even looking at it. One of the plaintiffs say, I submitted an application at 12:55, I was rejected at 12:56, and it was like outside of normal business hours, so I'm assuming they meant AM, and they made this decision obviously within 1 minute. This person graduated cum laude from their school, had 10+ years of experience, and didn't even get past the 1 minute review of their application. Those are the types of things that they're doing, but you got to really look at these types of cases are not new. It's just the way that they're bringing them are new. These are all Title VII claims that are through Civil Rights Act of 1964 or a 1981 claim. Both of them get to the same place. Do you have a claim? Are you a protected class? Race, sex, gender, sexual orientation, those are protected classes. If you can prove that you're a protected class, then you got to say, well, was I qualified? You know, I could have just walked off the street for a job that requires a PhD. All right, I'm qualified. Now, has their discrimination been adversely affected my opportunity to get a job? Well, did you not give me the job? All right, great. And then the last thing is similarly situated people. Has someone in that same situation that has the same background that I got, that have the same credentials that I got, did they get a job interview, let alone just get the job? Well, if they have, then now you can show that there's a prima facie case, and then you walk through a number of other hurdles, but just getting to that part is the hardest part within these claims.
Well, so how does a job applicant protect themselves going forward? Because I mean, we're just at the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to companies using AI for job application screening process. Everyone's going to be doing it in the next 5 years or so. So how does an applicant sort of protect themselves and go, I'm getting shut down, like you said, within 1 minute of hitting send? What do you do?
I think this is kind of what Justice Jackson said the other day in one of the cases about AI, but also about just discrimination, that you're asking folks to basically file a lawsuit every time they are discriminated against or every time they are egregious, that going to why they should not have nationwide or should have nationwide injunctions. Things like this kind of go to that under question of how do you get relief if you don't have the funds, if you don't have the resources. Not just how can you protect yourself, but how can you afford to protect yourself? Because litigation is expensive. But my wife is an attorney, but she's also been an HR executive for 16 to 17 years, and she has these conversations now at her job of how you can meaningfully use these types of things lawfully and allow you to be, successful in the recruiting process. I mean, because the recruiting process is hard. You're trying to find the best person for the job, but in the process of doing that, you're also trying to tear down norms that traditionally haven't done that. And so while you attempt to use AI that should help you, oftentimes it's not, because someone is writing things in there that may not go forward with the way the company's trying to go forward. So that sourcing is part of the recruiting process. That's what a lot of these AI companies are doing. They're getting rid of the human sourcer. Typically a sourcer would work with a recruiter, and then that recruiter would submit those names to a HR hiring manager. Well, now if you're saying the sourcing is happening through AI, and now this recruiter will just grab what the sourcer, AI sourcer has given them, it has detrimentally hurt the recruiting process. To your original question, it's going to be hard to ensure that you can protect yourself as an applicant because you're just trying to get a job.
There you go. Our Taylor Young actually has more on that on our website, qcnews.com, about ageism and how AI affects that. Our Chief Legal Analyst, Khalif Froze, thank you for your insight, my friend.